Now there's no stopping them. Everyone wants to get home as fast as they can. In the side roads, school buses stand ready and waiting. We climb into the one driven by Sueli Barrios. The children call her Aunt Sueli. She maneuvers the minibus over bumpy roads through the lower middle-class suburbs east of Sao Paulo. Sometimes she has to remind her charges to stay in their seats. Sueli Barrios is self-employed. Her second minibus, with which she's in constant radio contact, could be repossessed at any time. She can't make the payments anymore. She doesn't show it, but she's in real trouble.
I took out a financial deal for the minibus. It cost 82,000 real, and I used my private car as down payment. I'm supposed to pay 60 installments of 2,300 real per month. In all, that makes 138,000. So basically, I'm paying for almost 2 cars.
On average, Brazilian families owe 45% of their income to the banks. Economist Jorge Nogueira, whom we met in Sao Paulo's banking district, says that's dangerous. He says the lower middle class in particular no longer has any purchasing power. In addition, very few of them still have a connection to money. Everything's bought with credit cards. That's why so many have gotten into debt, and the bank's conditions are especially harsh.
There's this old saying, don't kill the goose that lays the golden egg. But that's just what the Brazilian banks are doing. Some credit card charges are so high, they border on profiteering. If you buy something with your credit card and then pay in installments, after a year you'll have paid 10 times the original value. The high interest rates enrich the financial system and make the population poor in the long term.
When compared to other countries, including other emerging economies, it's clear that the margin between what the banks pay in interest on savings and what they charge for credit is extremely high in Brazil. Those whom the banks no longer consider creditworthy are targeted by posters like these in the suburbs. Private moneylenders looking to get a cut of their own. We visit Sueli Barrios at home. She lives in a rented house. It's small, but lacks for nothing in the kitchen. She has 3 daughters, and the girls always want something. Everything is bought on credit. She says that's the only way she can manage.
I just can't pay the bills on time. Then there's more and more interest. And then I really can't pay, so it snowballs. That's the truth. At the end of the month, it's more than tight. I take a bit away here to plug a hole there, and try to get through somehow.
At some point, not even that worked anymore. Sueli Barrios sought help from credit counselor Marcelo Segredo. He says more and more small entrepreneurs get into trouble. It's a typical lower middle class problem. Segredo blames the government for the situation.
The amount of debt is so great because Brazilians were encouraged to spend more. Borrowing limits were increased, and it's become much easier to get a loan. But now more than 60% of the population is stuck in this cycle of debt.
That's problematic for an economy that relies greatly on consumption. Last year, there was little good news from the economy. Nogueira isn't the only one who thinks Brazil has failed to take advantage of many opportunities. Consumption and agricultural exports alone can't change the course. He says Brazil is on a difficult road.
A positive aspect is that Brazil has really managed to reduce a great deal of poverty. But stronger instruments are needed to provide more long-term opportunities for social advancement. Professional and educational training, which are very inadequate here in Brazil, would be one of those. If that doesn't happen, the lower middle class will stay where it is, or even slide backwards.
Sueli Barrios is afraid of moving down the social ladder. She'd like to offer her children more, but there's no chance of a good education because nobody here can afford private schools. First, she has to solve the financial problems she's having with her vehicle.
To cover the minibus payments, I have to take out a new loan with slightly better conditions. That means more debt in the end. I don't see how I can ever escape this vicious circle.